My name is Crystal, and I don't have anyone in this world, so I'm sharing my story here. I've watched my husband transform into a monster. I don't know how many of you have successful love stories, but I envy those who married their soulmates and are now living their best lives. I thought I was marrying my soulmate, Seth, but I was wrong. Seth and I got married out of love. We both had stable jobs and a good relationship before our wedding. However, after we got married, Seth suddenly quit his job without consulting me. He said, "Look, Crystal, I was getting depressed and burnt out at my last job, so I needed to quit. I'll apply for a new job soon, but I need a break. You'll have to support us till then." "I'm sorry you're feeling down, Seth, but you should have consulted me or at least told me you were going to quit." "I needed a heads up," I replied. "It's not a big deal, Crystal. It's just for a few months. After that, things will go back to normal." Things never went back to normal. I took on 2 jobs to support us while Seth sat at home and played games all day. He didn't even take care of the house. After months of struggling, paying rent became nearly impossible. We were forced to ask for help from his parents, Cole and Olivia. They were furious when they found out Seth had quit his job. "Seth, what is wrong with you? You're getting back to your old habits again. This is unacceptable," Cole said. "What do you mean, Cole? Seth is a hard-working man. I always knew him that way. This situation is an exception. He hasn't been doing well mentally," I tried to explain. "You don't know everything, Crystal. Seth has done this multiple times. He quits his jobs and then expects us to take care of him. Last time, we threatened to cut him off if he didn't get a decent job. We forced him to go back to work. After that, he met you, and we thought he had genuinely changed. Now we see he's back to his old ways. He says he's depressed and has visited many therapists. They all said there was nothing wrong with him. He was just playing us for free money." I was shocked. In the 2 years we were together before marriage, Seth was a consistent worker. He never did anything like this. This only started after the wedding. Seth tried to defend himself, saying, "Dad, you saw that I changed my ways. This is really an exceptional situation. We just need a little help for the time being. I'll find a job soon." "You better stick to your word, Seth. We won't have you mooching off your wife. She's a good girl and deserves happiness. We'll let you stay at one of our properties for free, but you have to promise to get a job soon. We'll kick you out if you continue this charade." "Thank you so much. Seth will work on his problems, I assure you." "Thank you for helping us until then," I said gratefully. Seth promised his parents he would find a job, but he never did. Instead, he lied to them about getting a job while I worked myself to the bone to support our family. I kept quiet because I loved him and didn't want to pressure him. Slowly, our finances deteriorated. I was barely making ends meet, yet Seth continued to waste his time and even berated me when I failed to bring in more money. He warned me not to take days off to avoid missing a day's wage. I was exhausted and isolated from everyone. Seth hated it when I went out with friends. I was foolish and madly in love, so I stayed like this for a year. Yes, for an entire year. I worked like a slave and reduced myself to nothing. One day, I had enough and took a day off from both jobs. When Seth saw that I didn't go to work, he yelled, "Why the hell are you home, Crystal? You should be at work making money." "I took the day off, Seth. I will die if I keep working like this." "This is unacceptable. Who the hell told you that you can take a break? I warned you about this, Crystal. Still, you didn't listen to me. How can you be so cruel, Seth? For a whole year, I worked like a slave while you enjoyed my money. You isolated me from my friends because you didn't want me going out and spending money. This is hell, Seth. I deserve a day off and I will go out. You will have to deal with it." I ran out of the house, crying because I was hurt. I just needed to get away from him. I roamed around the city and did a little window shopping. I didn't have much money to buy anything. The past year, I lost most of the money I had saved because of Seth. I was truly getting frustrated with him. He had stopped showing me affection a long time ago. All he did now was yell at me about wasting time or not bringing in enough money. I really didn't know what to do. After being out for most of the day, I returned home in the evening. I walked up to the house and tried to unlock the door with my key. The lock turned, but the door didn't open. I realized it was bolted from the inside. I was confused and decided to knock. I knew Seth was home, but he didn't answer. After a while, I started to shout, "Seth, open the door. I'm waiting outside. It's freezing out here. and I'll catch a cold. I'm not going to open the door. What? Are you joking or something? Seth, this is not funny. Open the door. You think you can disrespect me and ignore my warnings? That will never happen, Crystal. You need to be taught a lesson so you never do this again. I'm not letting you into the house tonight. You can stay outside or wherever you come from. What the hell are you talking about, Seth? Are you locking me out because I took a day off from work? This is ridiculous. Let me in. Knock all you want, Crystal. I'm not letting you in. Consider this a lesson. I don't want you to repeat this behavior ever again. Seth ignored me. He didn't open the door and stop responding to my calls. I kept pounding on the door and calling him, but I got no answer. I was starting to freeze and didn't know what to do. Like a fool, I decided to wait a little, hoping his anger would dissipate. I thought Seth wouldn't be so cruel as to lock me out of the house. I was wrong. I sat there for 2 hours before I realized how abusive my husband had become. At that point, I felt completely alone. Seth had isolated me from my friends, and I didn't have any family in the state. I didn't know where to take shelter for the night. The cold was creeping in, and I started to shake from the chills. After thinking for a while, I decided to seek help from the only 2 people I knew well enough. I got into my car and drove straight to my in-laws' house. They were my only hope in this horrible situation. I knew they were good people and would help me out at least a little. I raced to their house and knocked on the door. Cole opened it and was surprised to see me. After letting me in, he said, "Hey, Crystal, what's the matter? Why are you crying? Oh my God, you poor thing. Is Seth okay? Why did you come alone?" Seth locked me out of the house. I was sitting outside for 2 hours before I drove here. What the hell, Crystal? Why did he lock you out? What kind of prank is this? Don't tell me he's getting influenced by all those videos he watches. No, Cole, he wasn't pranking me. He locked me out because I took a day off work. He doesn't like it when I take a break. I've been working 2 jobs to support us. I was feeling burnt out, so I went window shopping for a day. It's not like I can buy anything. I don't have money. What in the world, Crystal? Why are you working 2 jobs? Seth has been telling us that he is earning well enough for both of you. He even said he's asking you to leave your job and take a break. He's been lying to you guys. He never got a job after he left his last one. I don't think he even sent any applications. He's been pestering me for money, so I had to take up 2 jobs. He gets upset when I take a leave because it means I'll get less money next month. I started to cry and poured my heart out to his parents. I knew he had been keeping them in the dark. I supported his lies because I didn't want them to disown him. Like an idiot, I loved a man who didn't even care about me. My pain and shame became too much to handle. I broke down, and Seth's parents were horrified to learn their son had become abusive towards me. They were even more furious than I was. Cole started to curse out loud while Olivia quietly patted my back. When I finished crying, Cole said, "Crystal, don't worry. You are not alone. We are going to get you out of this situation. I can't believe our son has turned into a monster. I wonder where we went wrong with him. This is horrible. Crystal, please don't cry. We will figure out something, I promise." I don't know what to do, guys. Truth be told, I don't even want to be in the same house as him. I don't know where to go. Don't worry about that, Crystal. We'll take care of it. Let's go back to the house. I'll go with you. It's time we teach Seth a lesson he'll remember, Cole said. Cole and I went back to our house. Olivia stayed behind because she was sure she would slap Seth if she saw him. We knocked at the door, and Seth didn't open. I heard him scream that he wasn't letting me in. "Seth, open the door. It's been 3 hours already. How much longer are you going to punish me?" "As long as I want, Crystal. You didn't listen to me when I told you not to take a break. Now I'm not going to listen to you. See what it feels like." "You are insane, Seth. I took a break for 1 day, 1 freaking day. That doesn't mean I deserve to spend so many hours outside. You deserve to spend the night outside if you were so desperate for a break. You can stay out and take as much time as you need. I am not opening the door. You can keep knocking." "Seth, open the damn door right now. Open it or God help me, I will break this door down." After Cole called out to him, there was immediate silence. Seth knew he had messed up. He opened the door once he heard his father's voice. When he saw the 2 of us, he got even more nervous. His dad looked rather scary with a mean frown on his face. "Hey, Dad. What brought you here? You didn't say you would stop by," Seth said nervously. Drop the chit-chat, Seth. Tell me, who the hell are you to lock my daughter-in-law out of the house? Did you forget that I own the place you live in? Dad, it's not like that. I was just pranking Crystal. It's not what you think. We were just joking around, right, Crystal? It is exactly what you think, Cole. Seth kicked me out of the house because I took a day off work. He has been working me to the bone while spending my money and sitting around at home. Seth, why the hell is Crystal telling me that you left your job without consulting her? I let you stay here on the condition that you would work on yourself for your family. Why am I hearing this about you? At this point, Seth knew he was cornered. His lies were unraveling, and he had nowhere to hide. My pride would never let me tell people about my useless husband, but he underestimated the power of a woman who has been abused for too long. I wasn't going to sit idle and take his abuse anymore. I was going to ruin him. Still, Seth tried his best to save himself. Dad, it's not like that. I swear. I'm looking for jobs. It's just taking time. You know how bad the job market is right now. I've sent so many applications, but I haven't heard back yet. Oh, really? Well, why don't you show me all the job applications you've sent then? We will decide if you are telling the truth. Why do you need to see proof? Don't you believe your own child? This is ridiculous. I don't need to show you any proof. I'm telling you I have sent numerous applications. No, Seth hadn't sent any applications. I knew that very well. He never tried to get another job after he quit his last one. He planned to sit on his butt and spend my money. Even Cole could understand that his son was up to no good. There was no way Seth was speaking the truth. Since Seth wasn't going to say anything, I spoke up. He hasn't sent out any applications, Cole. That's why he isn't showing you the proof. A work position opened at my office, and I told him to apply. He didn't and instead screamed at me about how dare I tell him what to do. Seth, your mother and I allowed you to stay here only if you turned your life around. You fooled us into thinking you got a job and were contributing to your family. Now I see you're making Crystal work for both of you while you do nothing but spend money. Since you didn't hold up your end of the bargain, I'm going to evict you from the house. What? Dad, no, please don't do that. Where will we go? You can't just kick us out like that. Crystal, look what you've got us into now. We'll both lose the roof over our heads. There is no point shouting at her, Seth. This is your doing, Cole said sternly. Cole, Crystal will come to stay with us or at this house. You are the one who is getting kicked out. You don't have to worry about where Crystal is going to stay. Dad, this is unfair. Crystal and I are a couple. You can't separate us. You can't separate a married couple for God's sake. I go where my wife goes, and that's final. If Crystal wants to stay married to me, she has to take me where she goes. Yeah, well, in that case, I won't stay married to you anymore. I made that decision a while back, Seth. There is no way I'm going to continue this marriage. I will be divorcing you. Seth was dumbstruck by what I said. He didn't expect 2 blows in one night. All his life, he used the people around him to fund his expenses to some extent. For the last year, he managed to throw all his responsibilities on others. He expected life to go on like that. However, that was not going to happen. His parents and I were going to stand up for ourselves. Seth understood that he had just nuked his life at that point. He suddenly changed his demeanor. He cried and begged me not to leave him. Crystal, don't do this. You can't be serious. You're throwing away so many years of our relationship for a small mistake. Look, I know I shouldn't have locked you out, but it was just one day. We can work this out. No, it wasn't one day, Seth. You have been financially abusing me for the past year. You drained my savings and left me with nothing. You didn't even help with house chores and complained when I asked. 1 year of this torture is enough, Seth. Not anymore. I am leaving. Crystal, you're being unreasonable. We can talk this out. Fine, I will start applying for jobs tomorrow. I'm sure I'll find something soon. Once I get a job, we can go to therapy and fix this, right? I know you well enough to know that you will not do any of that. I suggested all those things last year. You ignored me and called me names every time. I know that if I listen to you now, you will act like you have changed but then go back to how things are now. Dad, please help me convince Crystal. See, I'm willing to change, but she's not listening to me at all. I didn't file for divorce straight away. Why? Because I needed Seth to get back on his feet to avoid alimony. Seth would be forced to find work once the month was up, and he would have to move. Until then, he could enjoy half of whatever I had in our joint account. I transferred half of the funds into my own account and left him with half, and I promised myself not to send any funds into that account again. Seth tried his best to convince me to return to him. He showed up at his parents' place multiple times to get us to forgive him. We didn't, of course. In fact, this time his mother verbally attacked him for being such a deadbeat. She even called him a poor excuse of a man. Seth was crying and begging for forgiveness. It was truly glorious. The month passed and Seth was forced to move out of the house. He tried to fight the move, which led to his parents almost calling the cops. I guess Seth found it hard to believe that his parents were actually kicking him out. Anyway, since then, he had been couch surfing with his friends but had to get a job, of course. Who would host him for free day after day? Everyone knew about his bad habits of becoming a parasite on others. Seth couldn't find a good job but made do. As soon as he moved into a place, I filed for divorce. The process was easy because Seth didn't have any money for a lawyer. He resigned to his fate and let us get divorced. I wasn't giving him any alimony because our income difference wasn't much. I left one of my jobs because I no longer needed to support another person. Plus, his parents were hosting me for free, which let me build back my savings as well. We split amicably because we didn't have the means to fight. He apologized to me multiple times, but I didn't forgive him. I'm now living in a 2-bedroom apartment with a roommate. Things are picking up for me. I visit Olivia and Cole since they have become my family as well. They are also refusing to forgive Seth, and it doesn't look like their relationship will ever go back to normal. Who's at fault here now? Crystal is doing the right thing by divorcing you. You don't have the right to hold her back. Her logic is completely on point. She's a good girl, and I don't want her to waste her life with an abusive man like you anymore. Crystal, you know what? You can come over to our place and stay there until Seth is kicked out. I'll wait here while you pack your bags. I took the chance and went straight to my room to get my stuff. As promised, Cole waited for me downstairs while Seth tried to make him change his mind. To be honest, I didn't trust Seth anymore, and staying with him in this house after the confrontation would be too risky, so I took Cole's offer to stay with them. I could hear Seth shouting and crying downstairs. Cole was passive to everything and waited quietly for me. I got my stuff and went downstairs. Seth tried to physically block me with his body. That's when Cole shouted at him about calling the police. Seth got scared and let me go. Back at my in-laws' place, Olivia took one look at us and immediately hugged me. For some reason, her tender move brought me back to tears. It had been ages since someone held me like that or showed me any bit of affection. It made me realize how much I lost by marrying Seth. His own parents loved me more than he did. Olivia brought me into the house and assured me that I could stay with them as long as I wanted. So I decided to stay there for the time being.